having started the season somewhat iffy by only winning one of our first 6 games in the Vanarama National League. Are we about to turn the corner? And have we finished bringing in new players? Hello, and it's a very warm welcome to episode 46 of From the Bottom to the Top, as we try and take a National League South side, in this case a Weymouth, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you 2 games. First up, we have the Vanarama National League Match Day 9 against Gateshead away from home. And then we are back at the Bob Lucus for a game against Bromley in Match Day 10. And all I can say is, if you enjoy today's episode, leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think of the series so far. And you can also follow what's going on the channel by following me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. And the other thing to mention is the 3 kits that you see above here. We only had 2 last season. If you want to know how to put a 3rd kit in, I will put a link up above and also in the description down below. And you can follow that link and add in your 3rd kit if you've only got 2 kits in your game as well. Watch out for other how-to videos coming along very, very soon. As mentioned in the preamble, we were struggling basically over the first couple of episodes of the new season, and it's been going a bit awry, shall we say. As you see from the first 6 games, we only won 1 game, that game against Aldershot Town. I know you will turn around and say, well, it's a bit odd, Mark, isn't it? You can't seem to win, yet then you've got 2 games that you've done offline and you've won both of them. I assure you, we've won them legitimately. There would be no point in me doing any shenanigans, because otherwise we got 2 games and every other game you'll see a pattern coming here. You might see a pattern yet, but we did go and play Chelmsford. Chelmsford at the time, I think, were near the bottom, and we went and played them. The only problem with this was Elliot Bolton got sent off in the 59th minute, which was a bit of a sort of blow to us, really. But Will Armitage getting his first goal for Weymouth after 13 minutes. Linton with a corner, it swung in, and Armitage getting it. I don't think got a bit of a curl or whatever on that. Got it past the goalkeeper. 1-0 then, and it stayed 1-0 until half-time. And then, as I say, on 59 minutes, Elliot Bolton got a sending off. Linton with a throw in. Bolton goes running with the ball. He's tackled, and what he does is he sticks his foot out and trips the player. And retaliation, it's a red card. And not only has he got a 1-match ban for that, he's got an added 2-match ban as well. And that was on 59 minutes. On 78 minutes, Ankinwali, who'd already hit the woodwork once, put this one away. Brown to Watson. It was cut out by Prescott. Prescott should have got rid of the ball, didn't. Williams threaded it through to Akinwali, and he put it neatly into the corner. It's 1-1, and it looked once again another draw coming our way, except Nzingo, who had an excellent game, to be fair, managed to get this one a minute into injury time at the end of the game. Linton again with a throw in. Nzingo back to Linton. Linton to Nzingo. Nzingo creates a bit of space for himself and rifles it into the back of the net. It is, at this point, 2-1, and it's how it remained, a 2-1 win. And good news. And I think on balance of stuff, we probably deserved it. 14 shots, 7 on target, 1.51. Only 46% of the possession, though. They had 15 shots, 5 on target, 1.40 at 54% of the possession. at the end of the day, it was going to be small margins all the way along. As you see, we had quite a bit of that first half and really should have taken advantage of that. We didn't. They come back into it in the second half. We only had a little bit of the game. The game that we had was when Nzingo scored that winning goal. Bearing in mind, we were down to 10 men as well. So a 2-1 win against Chelmsford, and then we went to meet local rivals Yeovil Town. And what a match this was. It was a very, very even Stevens match. We changed the formation a little bit towards the end of the game. As you'll see, we played for 48 minutes playing a 4-3-1-2 with 3 defensive midfielders. We switched it around, ended up playing a 4-2-4 with 2 straightforward midfielders, 2 wide players, 2 up front. It seemed to rock them a little bit, Yeovil, and in the end, they gave away a penalty. Abdul Malik giving us a corner, fires it in, it's headed clear, Slade on the edge of the box, the ball back in. Jones is brought down by Tarima, and a penalty it was. Abdul Malik steps up, 86 minutes on the clock, puts it past Watts in the goal. The only goal of the game, but it was enough to give us the win as it was. And so there we go. 11 shots, 3 on target, 1.33 on the XG, 43% of the possession. Again, we're not balancing out the possession. We seem to be struggling with possession. Yeovil Town having 6 shots, 3 on target, 0.31 and 57% of the possession. But it was a win. Alfie Prescott getting player of the match. 2 key passes he gave with a 7.7. That was the only thing we didn't look at in the other game against Chelmsford, I guess, was Glory Nzingo got the player of the match in that one, 7.9. And it was 3 key passes that he did to get that. Alfie Prescott having a good game in that one, really, but I'm surprised his average rating wasn't anywhere near as high. One other thing to note in the Yeovil Town game is we did play Harrison Roan for the first time in goal. We got 7.6, so he had a good debut for us in that match. Right, without any more to do, let's get on and get into it. We will check the transfers, because transfer stuff is still going on. We haven't had anybody in since Luigi Gaspar came in. Nobody going out apart since Joe Knight. So all there. We do have a couple of irons in the fire, though. Joe Geldhart, we're hoping to bring in on trial. He is he can play wide, or he can play a central midfield. He can also play as a striker as well. So we're just having a look at him. And Ethan Briley, we've made a bid for Ethan. He can play as a midfielder, an defensive midfielder. Can also play as an attacking midfielder as well. We'll let you know if anything changes on that in due course. Right, with all that said and done, I think what we do need to do, while we're on transfers, do need to have a look at the squad and start to trim back a little bit. I think there is a few players that probably won't get game time with these players coming in, and especially if we decide we want Joe Gelhart, if he comes in on trial and we decide we want him, especially if we can start playing wide players, then I think it's time to have a bit of a trim up and see who we don't need. Right, having said all of that, let's get on with it. The medical centre is all clear. Nobody in there at the moment. So that's all looking fine and dandy. And it's first match time. Gateshead are our first opponents in this one. We played them twice in the National League last season. 3-1 thrashing at their place. Adam Long, Wen and Malowski giving them the win. Melvin Lambert getting he scored first, but what turned out to be a consolation goal, and Sonny Davis getting sent off, which didn't help us in the slightest when they came back, of course. So that's how it is at the moment. All square then in those games. Let's go and see the team that will face Gateshead. And the only team news from our point of view is Elliot Bolton is suspended. And here is the team that faces Gateshead at the Gateshead International Stadium. Roan continues in goal. Candlish, Ransom, Armitage and Holman are our defensive line. Slade, Slanky and Gasper in that midfield trio. Nzingo continues behind Peters and Jones up front. And on the bench today we have Garante, Sonny Davis, Lorenzen Jones, Abdul Malek and Jaden Wareham. And we are facing Gateshead, playing a 4-4-2 today. Playing our usual formation for now anyway. We've won 2, drawn 2, lost 1 of our last 5. We are currently 7th on 13 points. Gateshead 15th on 9 points. Gateshead playing white and black tonight. First highlight comes 24 minutes in, and it's a throw in for Gateshead. Gilmore, and it's cut out by Armitage. Holman working along with him. Roan in the goal. I was going to say in the goalkeeper, but he is the goalkeeper. Candlish through to Gasper. Gasper now comes marauding forward. He's got support there. He's getting tangled up with Candish. Candish stayed onside. Nzingo crossed it in. And it's Mika Peters, his 5th goal of the season. I didn't think he'd scored 5, but he has scored 5 this season. And on 26 minutes, we take a 1-goal lead. Probably no more than we deserve by looking at the stats. Candlish rolls it into Nzingo. Nzingo puts it in for Peters. Peters just toe pokes it into the back of the net. Holman tidying up again. 27 minutes on the clock now. Slade comes forward. He's got Candlish out wide here. Candlish doing Candlish things. It's defended well. Slade back to Candlish. Candlish again. Oh, and it's a goal by Nzingo. His 4th of the season, and he's turning out to be a goodbye. Goodness me, is he a goodbye? And on 29 minutes, we go 2 up, and that's 2 in 3 minutes to punch a hole in Gateshead. Not many people here. In fact, I don't think there's anybody here, is there? It's gone in off the post as well. In fact, I'm just going to stop this a second. It looks like all of the supporters are confined to this one stand here, which is a bit bizarre, isn't it? All this space here not used, so they're all in one area of this stand on this right hand side here. Right, Holman not very good for atmosphere. Holman, Gasper, we've moved up to 5th. Slade back to Holman. Slade, oh, just over the top. No more highlights in that first half, but what a dominant first half it was too. We've come out of the blocks. And we're looking for our 3rd win in a row. And unless something goes dramatically wrong, I'm hoping that that's what we will end up with. 10 shots, 5 on target, 1.61, 62% of the possession. That's better. They've had 2 shots, 1 on target, 0.16 and 38% of the possession. We've not tweaked the formation or anything. All we've done is we've sent them out in positive mode to start the game. And, well, it's paid off first half. Let's hope it pays off in the second as well. They have a throw in. They made 1 change at half-time. Wood's off. McBride is on. This one's deep. It's headed back across. And it's gone in. Barnes from the edge of the area. They've got 1 back. And it's good job we've got that 2-goal cushion. And on 59 minutes, they're back in it. This one deep, and Malowski heading it down. It's not cleared, and it's gone through the players. And with 63 minutes on the clock, making our first change, Tom Solanke, who's tiring, he's off, and Lorenzen Jones comes on. 65 on the clock. Roan with a goal kick. Candlish comes forward. He's got Lorenzen Jones there. Then Nzingo. Armitage. Be good to get the 2-goal cushion back again. Holman comes forward down this wing. Holman Holman. What's going to Holman do? Can Holman cross it in? He can. And it's gone in. It came through to Jones. And Jones puts away his first goal for Weymouth. His first goal, not off his head, off his foot. And that 2-goal cushion is back in place. Holman doing good work down there. Holman, he could be the new Prescott. On the right wing, of course. And Nzingo overstepped that, really. It was well played by Nzingo. Took the defender out with him and just lifted his foot, and Jones was free behind him, and all he had to do was tap it in the back of the net. We have a free kick, Nzingo. 68 minutes on the clock, nearly 69 minutes, and Nzingo has a go, but it's gone over the top. And with nearly 70 minutes on the clock, making our second change, Will Armitage is tiring. He's also got a yellow card, so just to protect him a little bit, Jake Garante comes on to replace Armitage. And with 82 minutes on the clock, Luigi Gasper is tired. He's had a good game. He's come off. So we've changed our formation and we've moved to a 4-2-3-1. Peters, the lone striker up front. Abdul Malek comes on in place of Gaspar. He's out on the left. Jones moving out to the right. And Nzingo stays in that number 10 slot. And we hopefully can see the game out. Highlight Minathan on that far side. They've made their final change, I've noticed. This one's crossed in. And they've got a second. Barnes gets past Roan. And, well, it's going to be a tight one. We are in the 5th minute of 4 added on. And, Roan should have got that. And we've been lucky. In a way, we've been lucky. Mikael Barnes being the player and thorn in our side. 1 on 59. 1 on 95. And to be honest, we certainly deserve to win that by country mile. 19 shots, 8 on target. 3.19 and 62% of the possession. They had 7 shots, 5 on target, 0.92 and 38% of the possession. They weren't for giving up, but that 2-goal cushion, thankfully, was enough, and enough players there playing right. We're starting to gel, I think, is the way I'm looking at it anyway. And another player of the match for Nzingo, an 8.9 for him, 3 key passes, 1 clear-cut chance created, 1 goal, 1 assist and 1 goal. So a very good day for him. Let's see how that's left us in the table then. And with a full programme of results, we have moved up to 6th place. One thing I do realise, I didn't show you the table after rounding up what had gone on between episodes. But as you'll see, we have marched up that table quite well, down in 16th, I think, at the end of the last episode. But we've managed to pull ourselves well up into there now, albeit we could drop out if we start losing. So we need to keep this little bit of form going. Halifax Town are still top and going very, very well at the moment. They beat Bromley today, our next opponents, 3-2. So a bit of a close thing as well. And they had a player sent off after 8 minutes. So surely should have been a bit more. Kobe Moore getting 2 of their goals. Oldham Athletic, and they're not going too badly this season either. They had a 1-1 draw against Altrincham. Boston United, early leaders, have dropped away a little bit, and they will lose a 1-0 loss to Chester just below them. And Scunthorpe also there in amongst it. And we're looking for Scunthorpe right now. I can't see them. There they are. 0-0 draw against Dagenham Redbridge, and then we come Hartlepool just behind us. And they got a 1-1 draw against Fylde. So it just shows you, string some wins together and it can make all the difference, especially this early in the season. So as it stands, Halifax Town top on 23. Then come Oldham and Boston on 18 points. Then Chester are in 4th, Scunthorpe 5th, both on 17. And then there are 3 teams on 16. We are top of that pile at the moment on goal difference, ahead of Hartlepool in 7th and Solihull Moors in 8th. And then there's 2 teams on 15 points, Barnet and York City Our second opponent's Bromley down in 14th place at the moment on 11 points. Dagenham, Redbridge, Guiseley, Southend and Aldershot, the teams in that drop zone at the moment. Little bit of a gap opening up, or not such. So it's still in the mix there to play for. And Chelmsford being sucked back down into it at the moment. A 2-2 draw against Yeovil Town. So that we got 3 days down to our game against Bromley. Bromley we played twice in the National League last season, beating them at their place 3-1. Goals from Cooper, Peters and Spurway, and then beating them 2-1 at our place. Melvin Lambert scoring both the goals. Jack Young getting the goal for Bromley. A similar result. Well, a win would be good today to keep that little run against Bromley going. We'll come back just ahead of that if there is any news. And so here we are at match day and against Bromley. And they have a number of players out. So they've got a suspension to Matthews. They've got a player, Okine Peters, away on international duty with Ghana. Nasingo is away on international duty with Cameroon. Joe Piggott's out with a thigh strain. We're just missing Elliot Bolton. His second game of his 3-match suspension. And let's go and have a look at the team then that will face Bromley, who are currently 14th in table. Can we make it 4 wins on the trot? Let's hope so. Well, this is the team that faces Bromley in this Vanarama National League match day 10, and we can take a considered view on how we've done at the start of the season after today's game. It's beginning to be a settled side to some extent. The only thing to say is that we have got enough class in depth that we can actually swap players around through tiredness and things like that. So it's quite good. House is back in goal today. Roan I wasn't too impressed with in that last game, albeit he played well in the game previously, but I'm sure he'll be back very soon. He'll be chafing at the bit. Linton is back in on the left. Blythe replaces a Ransom in central defence. He's alongside Armitage today, and Prescott on the right-hand side comes in for Holman. Gasper, Morris and Solanke in midfield. And Nzingo is in behind Peters and Jones, as he has been now for 2 or 3 games on the trot. Ransom, Holman, Slade, Abdul Malek and Wareham make up the bench. And here we are back at the Bob Lucus. Last 3 matches drawn, the other 2, playing our usual formation today. And we face Bromley, who've won 2, lost 2, drawn 1 of their last 5. They made 10 changes for today's game. We are currently 6th on 16 points. Bromley 14th on 11 points. First minute, and Linton with a throw into Peters. Blythe, Morris for Solanke. Solanke finds Nzingo. Back to Solanke. Jones creating space, cross it in, and nearly went in. And a foul by the looks of it. And we will see the foul. This will be Nzingo over it. I haven't seen him score from a free kick yet. And it's taken a deflection off the wall. And it's gone for a corner. Good bit of early pressure here in the first couple of minutes. And Nzingo swings this in deep, looking for somebody at the back post. Didn't find him. Solanke's out there. Solanke will recycle it, hopefully. Solanke, but it's gone out for a throw. Another corner in Nzingo. 5 minutes on the clock now. And this one to the back post again. And it's he was looking for Armitage, I think, the first time. Didn't find him. He's found him this time. And Armitage gets his second of the season. And what a signing he's been, actually. Nzingo's been a good signing. Armitage has been a good signing. He's Spurway, but permanent. Prescott with a throw in on that far side. Prescott to Nzingo. Back to Prescott. Prescott coming forward. Prescott round his man. Prescott's going all the way. But misses the target. Prescott really got it ahead of steam up there. and decided to go on his own. Really probably should have passed it into the middle here at this point. I mean, he had Jones, Nzingo and Peters all waiting for it, but in the end missed the target. They have a long throw, Geehan to Krauhaus. Krauhaus crosses it and it's gone in at the near post. Shipley was there. A question of offside though, and it was offside. Thank goodness for that. Ruled out. Otherwise they were level. Krauhaus, oh yeah, he was. He was lurking behind the defensive line. Geehan again with a long throw to Krauhaus. It's going to be a similar one. Oh, it's curled, but didn't curl it quite enough. Well, I don't know if they changed formation or what. We'll have a look in a minute. But they grew into that game. That we were keeping them at bay. We had a lot of possession, 60-odd possession. And then all of a sudden they seemed to pick up possession and caused us a few problems, including the goal that was rolled out by Shipley. So we need to have a look and see what's been going on there. We've had 9 shots, just the 2 on target though, and we should have profited more when we had the opportunity. 0.98, 48% of the possession. They've had 5 shots, 2 on target, 0.35 and 52% of the possession. I'll go and have a look at it and have a chat with the boys. Nzingo with a free kick, 48 minutes on the clock. Not seen him convert one of these yet, and today's not the day. Prescott with a throw in. Solanke, Armstrong to Morris, back to Armstrong. Armstrong finds Blythe. Blythe to Gasper. Solanke's tackled, but it's gone through to Prescott. Prescott shot, and James had to push that away. He's creeping in. The corner ensues. 50 minutes on the clock. Nzingo with the corner. It's going to be an in-swinger. Deep again, looking for Armitage. This time goes over the top. All forward, basic. 68 on the clock now. Solanke still holding this 1-0 lead. Oh, giving it away, but he won it straight back. Through to Peters. Gasper is out wide. Gasper crossing in. Nzingo's come back off the woodwork. But Nzingo was offside. Prescott to Solanke. Back to Prescott. Prescott finds Solanke. Solanke's close attention to the defender. And Slade is brought down by Graham. And it's Abdul Malik. Straight into the arms of James. Very poor penalty. Shipley fires that against, was it Linton? No, Solanke. And it's broken for Peters. Peters only heads it back to a Bromley player. 87 on the clock. Ball forward to Peters. Peters through to Jones. Jones now is in. Ooh. And it's all over. And full time, that 1 goal on 6 minutes from Will Armitage from a corner is enough to win this. Abdul Malik, I thought, was going to make it comfortable on 86, but to no avail. We've had 19 shots, 5 on target, 2.89, 48% of the possession. Bromley have had 8 shots, 2 on target, 0.57 and 52% of the possession. A player of the match for Will Armitage. That goal and a rating of 8. Plenty of other players in the mix, of course. Amika Peters, 4 key passes, 1 clear-cut chance, and only got a 6.8. I'm not quite sure how this works out sometimes. But Bradley Jones keeping us out, as you'll see from his 7.8, has kept us at bay. And I think certainly that shot from, I think it was Prescott or Jones, which he managed to push wide as well. So all in all, it's a good day. Let's go and have a look and see how that affects the table. Well, a roundup of the games played, as you will see. I'm not sure whether the thingy was in the wrong place. I'm not sure whether I've chopped a bit of the end of the game off. If it has, you'll have seen some highlights coming up very shortly, or you will have seen the highlights towards the end. So apologies if it has been messed up. If not, hope you enjoyed it. Right. How are we? Halifax Town, their lead is still over us, is 7 points at the top, 5 points clear of Boston now. Halifax are the Chesterfields of this season. They're the ones to catch. They've not lost yet this season. 10 games unbeaten, to start the season, and a good start that is too today. Halifax Town beat Barnet by 2-1. Boston United beat Guiseley 3-1 to keep it up at the top. Oldham Athletic, they today beat Fylde by 2-1. So that's where we are. We move up into 5th on goal difference over Solihull Moors. Hartlepool below us. Scunthorpe have moved above us. Or were they in front of us anyway? They beat Chester by 3-1. It's Chester that have dropped down. So a bit of movement in here at the moment. So as it stands, Halifax Town top on 26. Then come Boston and Oldham on 21. Scunthorpe on 20. Weymouth, Solihull Moors on 19. Hartlepool and Chester on 17. York are down in 9th on 16. Dagenham Redbridge in the drop zone on 8 points. Guiseley on 7. Southend on 6. Aldershot Town also on 6. So that is how it has panned out today. We are going to come back. We've got a 4th qualifying round coming up. So we're going to be playing Barnet and Solihull Moors offline. We will start the next series with the draw for the FA Cup 4th qualifying round, so you know who we're going to play. And then it will be Southend and that FA Cup 4th qualifying round in the next episode. And then we'll finish up the October probably with Oldham and Colchester. My plan is this season is any teams that we've played in the first half, we won't play them in the second half unless it's a critical game. We'll try and mix it up. So in effect, you get to see most, if not all, of the National League sides. That's the plan anyway. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please leave me that big thumbs up. Subscribe, hit the notification button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the series so far. And, of course, by hitting the notification button, that ensures that you will get notified of all future episodes, bottom to the top, and our other series, Irons in the Fire, as they are released. And new episodes are bottom to the top, released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you for the next episode. It's going to be episode 47. It's out on Friday. And we're coming back, as I've said, for the games against Southend and an unknown quantity in an FA Cup 4th qualifying round. Join me for that. Till then, bye-bye.